Hello, Progress Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Factorio with BlueAnkylo. Now, it's been a fair bit of time for me since the last episode, so I can't remember exactly what I was doing, and I have played quite a bit off camera to get some stuff done. So, to start with today, I'll try to show you some new stuff, try to update you on what's new on my factory. Because we're getting close to the end game, and I've been just sort of cleaning up a lot of problems. Ran out of iron, added iron, ran out of... ran low on electricity, added electricity, ran out of oil, added oil, you know, just normal stuff like that I've been doing, and sort of improved some capacities. First thing, you may notice that I am running pretty darn quickly. It turns out I was incorrect last episode, and exoskeletons do in fact stack. So I've got 4, and I've considered throwing in a 5th one, because I don't actually fight very much these days. Being able to outrun, at this speed we can outrun any biter easily. You can even fight and back up, and you can still outkite most enemies pretty easily. So that's pretty awesome. So I highly recommend, at least with the Power Armor 2, maybe even the Mark 1. I mean, these things suck up a lot of energy. It's 200 watts each, so these 4 are using up an entire fusion reactor just on their own, basically. So we're not as tanky in battle as you could be, but we're so much quicker. It makes getting around just a breeze. I suppose what you could do, if you really wanted to overdo it, I guess, is you could have 2 sets of power armor, and you could have one for, working in your factory so you can move around quick, and then another one that you just quickly equip when you want to fight stuff. And the second one would have all, maybe more shields, more batteries, stuff like that, so you can take less damage. Anyway, let's go for a ride on our train. As you can, well, first thing, you can get on trains. I didn't even know that until a while ago. I don't think I knew it last episode. You press enter and you can get into the train. You can control it while you're in it if you want to. But as you can see, I've changed kind of my extractor setup. You can extract from both sides of the cargo cargo wagons, and that will speed up. Like I don't have to have the train stuck in town for as long. This is my copper base. Lots of turrets and walls, lots of electric furnaces and copper mines, a little bit of a radar station, so this area gets mapped out thoroughly. We've got 2 rows of 5 chests to load up copper, lots of blue belts. I've even got a little robot repair bay to fix up stuff. I just put some auto repair packs and a few construction bots just to fix stuff, just so I don't have to go double check on it very often. This is my new base. It's the iron one. I didn't have enough stone to make the walls, but we got lots of turrets and basically the same setup. Lots of mines, lots of electric furnaces, lots and lots of iron plates being picked up by the cargo wagon. In fact, I managed to get 6 and 6 going at the same time. And again, another repair bay with construction bots. So that's about all for the iron one. If you pay close attention along this train ride, to the right of the train, you'll see a little an oil pump jack. There's a few oil along here that I've added to the system. Nothing too exciting though. You also may have noticed that we have more solar power. And that's because I keep running out of electricity. We've got so much stuff. I've got a huge solar array here, and lots of capacitors. I think some of that's new. Lots of laser turret defense, stuff like that. We've got this. I think I showed this off before, the steam engine layout. Probably more boilers than I need, but it works. We'll head to the south. I should probably actually move some of these walls forward, because my actual area of safety has sort of expanded. That wall won't be attacked anymore because there's this outpost. And this is my steam power solution, and I only just recently built it, but it's basically double the size of the one in our first base, give or take. So we've got essentially 2 different water lines coming in. 3 pumps, from what I understand, is the max per pipe. Like you can't put more pumps and have it pump through the same single pipe. So we've got 2 separate lines, the top line and the bottom line, each with 24 steam engines. I should be able to squeeze a couple more in, but I went with 24 just to be safe. Lots of boilers and a ton of coal mines. I also put effectivity into them so they use less electricity. The idea here is to generate electricity, so I want to make sure the mines aren't using up a ton just to get this thing to work. Now obviously the lasers take up some, but you don't get attacked too often. So what I want to show off for a second here is if we put in the 10-minute mark, or the 10-minute scale, basically we've got almost 700 solar panels. They provide enough electricity during the day to power everything and even charge up the accumulators. But you need something to work at night, and I think our current factory is using about 31 megawatts altogether. So we could actually produce even more with solar and steam than we can use right now. At the moment it's evening, our solar power is decreasing and our steam use is increasing. Every now and then the laser turrets show, and that's where you get the spikies. Whenever we're shooting a monster, that happens. But yeah, as the evening progresses, it'll switch over from solar to steam. And what I learned was you probably want nearly enough steam capacity to cover however much power your system uses. So we use about 30 megawatts for factories and radar and stuff. My current steam supply of 72 makes about 35 megawatts. So that actually should cover everything just fine. We've got the accumulators as kind of a backup in case something breaks or we have to use a lot of lasers. But I've had it a couple times where we kind of relied... Yeah, you can see back here, we relied on the green accumulator overnight, and then the steam engines ended up on all the time. But that burns through a ton of coal. So I like this current setup a lot better, where during the day it's all solar, at night the steam engines turn on just for a little while, and then back to solar. And this way, I think the coal supplies will last a lot longer. I mean, I could probably use the accumulators instead of the... I could probably eliminate steam entirely, but then you spend half the day charging the accumulators, and I don't know, it's tricky. I sort of decided it's easier to just keep the steam going. If there's tons of coal, we'll just let the steam do its job. Also, one small outpost, I finally found a stone quarry. This is the first kind of large size stone. Like every other stone bit I found on the map had like 6 or 7 blocks max. This is actually a fairly large one, although I'm already burning through it, sadly enough. But I turned this into stone bricks with furnaces, which gets pumped into a wall assembly. So my idea here was I wanted to make sure I could make walls in the future. So we get a fairly large supply of bricks and walls, because I'm always running out. Like, you need a ton of stone to actually build these large walls, as I've explained in previous episodes. So yeah, I finally got a bit of stone, and even normal stone, because you need that for railways and stuff. So anyway, that's the main outposts. We'll run back to base, and I will show off some of the changes to the factory layout. I think there's a few major additions. So, let's see here. Our current bottleneck is advanced circuits, so I added, I think, 2 more advanced circuit manufactories. We get lots of plastic and copper and stuff right now at the moment, thanks to our iron and copper mines that the train ships in. We've got tons of iron and copper, so that's fine. And I've also added the oil pump jacks, so we're making lots of plastic at the moment. In fact, I've got 4 chemical plants converting light oil into petroleum gas, basically. In fact, it's possible I'm out of light oil. Yeah, so we've actually run out of light oil, which will slow these down considerably. But we still got lots of crude oil getting converted. I almost always use productivity on the oil line. So everything that comes from oil, I've been using productivity just to get more output for input. I don't care if it's a little bit slower or a little bit more electricity intensive. It's a real pain trying to find more oil pump jacks. You have to keep going further. I've used all the oil around here is already burned up, basically. So the next step, we have to jump, you know, down to here or way up to there. And enemies continue to spawn out here. In fact, this little section, that's probably a good... that's a really nice oil area, too. The next time I need oil, that's probably where I'll want to go. But it's a pain to keep expanding further and further out from your base, because then you try to defend it with lasers and stuff. It's kind of annoying. So I'm trying to be efficient with my oil products. Anyway, like I said, plastic is currently the bottleneck. We've got tons of robots. In fact, I learned, if you look on the right side, it says available robots there, right underneath the requester chest. So I currently have 206 logistic robots available, but I'm only using like 20 or so at a time. Now, part of that is because I have now researched most of the upgrades. They can carry... Where's the carrying one? I think they can carry 4 or 5 at once. Starts at 1. I think they're up to 4. They can carry 4 items at the same time, or a stack of 4. And they're pretty quick. I mean, I don't know. Can you guys tell the difference? They're supposed to move faster, but I never really could tell the difference. But anyway, I don't think you need 200. I just made lots in my auto factory. Probably 50 or so, even with less tech, would be lots. Also, one thing to note is the laser turrets are doing a ton more damage than they used to. I've upgraded them to max. They're doing over double damage and almost double speed. So, compared to the starting laser turrets, one turret is worth about 4. One of these turrets is worth, I figure, about 4 of the original turrets, and it uses the same amount of electricity. So it's actually really, really nice. They're super powerful. I've changed my research line. I got tired of the really huge power draw with all those beacons, and I just have, you know, 4 level 3 productivity modules, so we get 40% more productivity. It's fine. I've got quite a lot of alien artifacts. I've done a bit of fighting lately. I'll show that off in a minute. But yeah, that's that. We have some module factories because the modules are really slow to build. This is basically where all my advanced circuits are going nowadays. And I even have a tier 2 one over here where we combine level 1s and more processing units and stuff to create a fairly good stockpile of module 2s. The module 3s I figure I will handle manually, but at least I don't have to build the prerequisites, seeing as they use artifacts and stuff. But you do need these for certain things. Usually it's just power armor. What else uses them? I haven't made any of these discharge defenses yet. We're going to test that out probably today. But all the really high-tech stuff uses them, so you got to have some. Is there anything else different? I had to change some of the piping a little bit. That might look a little odd. Oh yeah, I doubled my plastic production. For a while there I had really good petroleum gas thanks to the light oil. I was burning through like 6 tanks full of light oil, so we were actually producing plastic really quickly. Apparently we're out of gas again, which sucks, but all we're getting is just less gas. We ran out of light oil, that's all it is, basically. I think this is new. I doubled the copper wire line. Copper wire is a real bottleneck because you need so much to turn it into electronic circuits. You need 3 cables per circuit. Plus, you actually need a good supply of cables for other stuff. So I had to make sure that at least a few of these cables made it to the chest. And you can see now, even with 6 assemblers going, barely any makes it to the end. Just 1 every now and then. I guess this chest also gets a couple. But yeah, copper plates are good. Copper cables, even with 6 going at pretty good speed, still just barely enough. You also need a lot of inserters to get them to go at full speed. It's tough. Iron plates. Oh yeah, I used a couple splitters finally. So the reason I have the iron off the iron unloading area like this is if all I had was this right side, all the copper ends up on the left or inside track. Nothing ends up on the outside track because as it comes around that corner, it all just stacks up on one side. Thanks to this belt going the opposite direction, everything on this line ends up on the outside track. So it uses this blue belt, the fastest belt we've got, at proper efficiency, full efficiency. So that actually offloads it pretty good, although, I mean, we've got a lot of iron stocked up if we need it. And then what I found was, as long as the iron went just the normal old way, turns it into steel, turned it into gears, it all got used up by the time it got about here. You can actually see most of it's gone by the time the lines meet up together. So this time I used a splitter, and this ensures that the plates further down the line, all this stuff, the belt constructors, the fancy inserter constructors, they always have a supply of iron, which is good. It's fixed one of my major bottlenecks, actually. So the splitter actually proved very, very useful for the first time, actually. Some of these might be new. We produce defender capsules now out of piercing rounds, out of steel. So it's kind of got a chain of assemblies, and we let the bots fill in the gaps whenever you have to move stuff far. Research is going pretty solid. Is there anything else new around here? This is old. I think that's it for new stuff. Nothing else really would fit. Obviously, lots of capacitors and solar panels and stuff. So yeah. So the cool thing now is, basically, I've found that with my current armor setup, and it's mostly thanks to the speed, I can take out any base, no matter how large it is, as long as there's no worms. If there are lots of big worms, then we will need to use the old turret trick. But I don't do that very often, actually. Where'd my car go? I always forget my car. Now that I move fast, we're not at car speed, but I don't actually take the car out too often. But we'll go check out the bases quick one more time. That doesn't lead to any base, that just leads to one of my turret attacks. But yeah, anything else in this base you guys want to see? Doubling the input. I put a pretty solid wall. This place was getting attacked a ton. Really, really often this base was getting attacked. So I added lots of walls around the turrets. Tons of turrets all around like crazy. Little entrances and stuff to make it look a little bit nicer. The oil all ran out, of course, like it always does. And I added another little splitter. Yeah, that's the other use for the splitters, is to get the copper plates into, well, split so it goes. If you don't split it, then if you just use one track that wraps around rather than splitting it, then these guys get all the copper and these guys don't get any, or they get much less, so that it doesn't fill up the train as quickly. This way, it should always be pretty even. Well, I guess this one. Yeah, pretty even. That one's about as full as this one, give or take. It looks like we're actually low on copper. We're actually running out of copper because the furnaces aren't all running now. That's because a couple of mines are stopping. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mines not running. And I think 4 mines would have been enough to keep everything working at full speed. So I'm already going to have to start considering upgrading my copper mines eventually. But I know we have a lot of plates stocked up, so it's okay for a fair while. Anyway, that's... you can even see some enemy attacked it not too long ago. There's my car. Okay. Let's go travel around. We'll show off the iron mine one more time, and then we'll go do some battling. I did decide I would do an awful lot of my construction off camera, just because I spend a lot of time planning it out, and on camera it's difficult to keep it exciting while I think, just try to optimize where I'm going to put stuff. The trains are also really, really fast. I have this line basically from the copper mines to the iron mines. The train doesn't max out its speed. It keeps getting faster and faster and faster until it slows down to turn in. Like, I was watching, if you hover over it, it shows you its current speed. It's still accelerating right up to this corner, and then it slows down and stops here. So, I don't know how long of a straight line you need to get to max speed, but man, those trains, they are fast. Really cool, and they're fun to ride too. I like them. Oops, don't crash into stuff. I want to get out of my car. Iron mine, very similar again. We've got a splitter, so that goes to both sides. This is a little bit newer, so we haven't run out of iron yet, and I haven't even expanded it to the total area. Lots of laser turrets. I didn't have enough stone, obviously, but things are okay. As long as you have a chest with some repair bots. Wait a second, did I put... I put construction bots in the chest instead of in here where they're supposed to be. That was a good trick. Not that you need that many, but there. Tons of construction bots so they can repair any turrets that take some damage. As long as they don't get destroyed, we'll be fine. And then some more radar. I think what radar does, after it scans its max area, which is something, it must be this large. That's as large of an area as it'll scan, I think. What it seems to do is it just rescans area for spawning bases, I think. I mean, you could prove me wrong in the comment section. But they do seem to have a max size that they don't get any larger than. But when a new base appears, a radar dish will find it, so you're not surprised. I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that's how it works. So let's see. That base probably has worms, so that's not a good example. Let's head up this direction. A lot of old alien bases with no worms, it looks like. And that should be fun. I mean, a little bit crazy over there, but this should be a good fun time. Now that we've got our super speed legs, this is how we fight. I'll show you guys how we fight alien bases. This is... oh wait, that's a new one. The radar didn't even see that. Stupid radar. Yeah, I think one of the things I'm not sure, but one of the things that I've been thinking, when you press Alt and it shows you like what resources are in, it also changes the mini-map a little bit. And I think that that's the pollution mode. I'm not sure, but it only shows up when you have Alt. I'm pressing Alt to turn it on or off. And I think that's the pollution mode. And I am pretty sure that the worm bases only show up on the edge of pollution territory. I think. So if we actually travel a fair ways from our home, will only fight kind of easy bases, but they'll seem to always get surrounded by worm defense, like aggressive alien bases, basically. I could be wrong, but that's my theory, basically, right now. So let's try going this way. We'll try to find a couple easy bases. The worm bases basically require lasers to take them out safely. The big, you know, the bot construction I showed off last episode. That's another, yeah, that's a new base. The new bases like to have worms for sure. Alright, that's a normal base. Pretty large, right? Kind of scary. Lots of big biters and stuff. Oh, we're actually under attack. Lots of little biters. Oh no, little biters. Okay, I also, do I have enough fuel? I'm kind of low on flamethrower ammo, but it should be okay. Anyway, as you can see over here, there's 4 bases, no worm turrets, just big biters. So what do we do? Oh, there's also one down there. There's lots of them. There's biters everywhere. This is perfect. So you just draw them all out, maybe let them get a couple bites off just so they feel manly. And as you can see, I run faster than they do. So we can kite them around like crazy. And then you just run through, burn their house down. Try not to get surrounded too badly. It's the little biters that actually keep up. So what you do is you just run away and try the other ones for a second. Hopefully this works out and I don't die horribly. Burn, 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 burn. Okay, we got one. Let's go down to one of these down here. This is a really nasty one because there's like 10 bases all around each other. So this is pushing the limits a little bit for what I was planning on showing off. But it's a good experiment. I don't think I've ever done this many at once. Okay, we got only 3 left up here. Oh, don't get surrounded. If you get surrounded, you're dead. It's like Zerglings surrounding a zealot or a dragoon or something. If you're surrounded, you're toast. But with all these leg upgrades, we can do this. Look at this swarm. Look at the swarm. We're down to 2 up here, almost dead. Okay. And my shield does recharge pretty quickly, thanks to double fusion reactor. Okay, they're down to 1 base. This is insane. I've never taken on this much at once. It's a good test. It's a good test. Alright, so the upper base is completely destroyed. The lower base has got 1 left. And they're all dead. Now, you can either try to pick up the artifacts right now, which is a little bit dangerous, or you can just lead this group back somewhere safer. So we'll just run up to our base. Don't worry about them. They'll never stop following you. So no matter how far you go, they're like bloodhounds. They've got your scent. They will chase you to the ends of the earth. As much as it looks like they're not following me, they'll show up. Just give it a minute. They'll be here in no time. Some of them might get stuck in the trees for a bit, but, you know, here they come. And they're actually so focused on killing me, they're going to ignore the turrets and try to chew this wall down. Because they're enraged by my flippant behavior that they're going to try to attack me. In fact, they might even tear that wall down. Well, we'll see how it goes. The construction bots are going to do a good job of repairing it pretty quickly. Even a 1-layer wall is pretty strong. Oh, they broke through. Look at that. Well, there really was a lot of them. It's not a surprise. They're still coming by the dozens. So they took out a couple chunks of wall. Well, good for them. I also could have hid sort of in a smarter location right by the turrets. But there you go. So it wasn't perfect. We did lose a little bit of wall. Let's repair that while I'm here. If I had a double thick wall, I'm sure we would have been fine. Or if I left some wall here, some pieces of wall, so that the bots can repair it themselves, that's probably smart. Anyway, so now that you've cleared the bases and also cleared the inhabitants, we can just casually go pick up some artifacts. That's the worm base, yeah. So lately, I just ignore the worm bases. They're too much of a pain, because you have to build your laser wall, basically, to take them out. This way, it's nice and safe. I never really had too much risk of dying. And we get, I don't know, maybe a dozen artifacts or so. It's pretty cool. I've done this, maybe not this large of a base. I don't think I've ever taken on 9 at once. But I've done this a few times. It's pretty reliable. And there you go. Good amount of artifacts. So there you go. That's one. Basically, all you need is a whole bunch of these exoskeletons, and then you can do that. It's pretty cool. So let's head back to our home. One thing is, you see all these dots? There's not actually enemies there, although that's new. I think what happens is the map remembers they were chasing you, so it shows tons and tons of dots. This is more like a normal sized base that I usually take out. So the mini-map remembers that they were chasing you, but it doesn't update that they're gone because you went too far away or whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Just take my word for it. We'll pick up some artifacts on our way home, and it'll be fine. Our home base... Oh, that was close. No, trees! Bad trees. Okay, trees can mess up your day, that's for sure. Pick up some artifacts. Okay, it's a little bit... Sometimes it's a little bit touchy to pick up the artifacts. You have to be right in the middle and press F to get them all. But you can see this swarm isn't that big. It's not that bad. Oh, I missed one there. One good thing is the artifacts will never go anywhere. They'll just stay there forever. So yeah, as you can see, the red dots are disappearing because there was a big swarm following me, I guess. And I might be able to show it off. Okay, I think I picked up all the artifacts. Good. Yeah, you can see back there on the minimap there's a bunch of red dots. It's like once they're out of your view, it thinks they're still there or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, let's head back up. I think I left my car. I forgot about my car again. That's what happens. Because I can run so fast, I forget my car everywhere. So anyway, now that we're back in our base, the enemies will run up here and get slaughtered by the turrets. Maybe we'll see just how much power it takes to slaughter. Let's keep an eye on the black bar, see how high it goes. Not too bad. Also keep in the line, I might take some damage. 5 megawatts. 9, 10, 11 megawatts. Yeah, they definitely can soak up some power, that's for sure. 15 megawatts I saw at the tops there. So with even just one zone of turrets all firing, they can really use up some power. Yeah, that was a pretty serious amount of battle there. All that. That was the really huge fight. That was the little fight we just had. So that's cool. That was, I mean, if that was 15 megawatts of lasers, that must have been like 30 or 40. It's a good thing we've got all those steam engines, right? So anyway, that's what I've been doing lately. I'm trying to basically get ready for the end game here. So one thing I noticed, this is pretty hard to research, but watch this. Follower robots, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, or 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, 18, 2,000. It just keeps going. That's the final one. Follower robot count plus 10. I don't know. At that point, how many robots do you have? Like 1 billion? And look at how much, like, that's a lot of alien artifacts. So that's the final research if you really want to get everything. But I just want to get rocket defense. So we're almost there. We have one more rocket shooting speed, and then we'll be ready for it. So anyway, what do you guys think? Did you enjoy my my new tactic for getting artifacts? I'm pretty sure I've got enough artifacts now to finish all the research I need. Maybe not the final robot upgrades, but I think I can get basically everything else. What am I looking for? Fuel. Make sure you got lots of flame. Still to this point, I find flamethrower to be the most effective, especially at killing bases. Explosive rockets are kind of cool, but they don't do a whole lot of damage to the big biters. Basically, nothing does much damage to the big biters. Oh yeah, let's craft some stuff. Let's make a discharge defense. I have no idea how these things work. So let's craft one of these up, and I'll craft a couple remotes. I have again, I've never used these. This is like the last 2 things I've researched. And I think that's it. I think we've basically unlocked everything. I don't think there's anything else. Oh no, wait, there's one more capsule upgrade that I don't have yet. And then it's just damage, 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 speed, damage. Oh, there's a different kind of shotgun shell. Okay, I could get that. And then more logistic slots. So the rest of the upgrades are all just, you know, normal stuff. Nothing new. There's no new machines, I don't think. Until the next patch. Yeah, we're almost done our fun. So, basic electric discharge defense remote. How does it work? There's a couple things I haven't figured out still. I haven't really figured out the wiring system. I haven't used rail signals yet. And I haven't used this this new thing. I think this... Well, I built a few of them, I guess. Isn't this... Yeah, this is an equipable slot. So let's equip it. We'll take out one of our exoskeletons, and I guess we'll lower our shield for a little bit. So let's put in this... where'd it go? Discharge defense. It seems to do a lot more damage. Like, just look at the numbers for a second. I think it's doing... The personal lasers did like 5 damage. This thing does 30, so that's a lot more. And then I'll add... I guess I could add a couple batteries. I think I've got some spares. Yep. Add some more juice. Or just 1, I guess. No, 2. And let's give it a try. Let's go fight some more monsters. See what this discharge defense does. Is there any way out here? I've blocked my entire base in. I should leave a couple entrances so I can get in and out. Alright, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some more monsters that spawn somewhere up here. Some more biters. Oh, that was one of my wood explosions. Littering the ground with wood. Alright, this base, does it have worms though? That's the question. Yes, it has worms. Well, okay, so it doesn't shoot automatically. So is that what the remote's for? Okay, it's whenever I left click, assuming it's charged up. I think it shoots at like all enemies. Yeah, it shoots at all enemies within a certain range. It's not just like one shot. So let's gather up a good batch of them. Let's see if it shoots at like 10 at a time. I think maybe only... No, I think that's all of them. I think that's 1 bullet per enemy. So I assume it's doing 30 damage. Huh. Basic remote. Are they all on the same cooldown? Like, could I have... I just want to see if I can have multiple remotes going at once. So don't mind me. Yeah, they're all on the same cooldown, so one is as good as you can get, basically. Well, it's kind of cool. I mean, that's how fast it fires. I'm clicking as much as I can. It will kill them eventually, I guess. 30 damage a shot. Minus whatever armor they've got. I don't know if enemies get armor. Damage reduction. 78 to 48. Well, they also regenerate too, of course. I would say that's a lot slower than the flamethrower. Personally. So, I'd say that's kind of a fail. Just like the laser turret, it's cool, but not really good enough. So let's go back to running faster and having a bit more shield. I could probably just put another runner and just go full shields and have no battery at all. Probably. I wonder if I can take out these turrets now. Like, I wonder if I can... Are they small worms? Big worms? There are big worms. I know the big worms do a ton of damage. I've never really tried to fight these without the lasers. Well, and survive, basically. Let's see if I can quickly take this out. Oh, yeah, those worm turrets do a ton of damage. The trick is I have to get in there to fight them. I mean, I know the poison capsules work pretty good on them. But poison capsules are slow. Let's try to kill a couple turrets. No, the turrets are pretty tough. They take a lot of damage. And they definitely hurt. They definitely hurt you. So I guess the way is still you have to basically poison them and then run off. Seems to be the only way, unless you're doing the turret wall, it seems like the only way to safely take care of the big worms. The big worms specifically, I think, is to throw in poison capsules. Maybe, I mean, maybe if you set your armor up full tank, so instead of being fast, if you just went tons and tons of shields and reactors, I mean, you could put 4 shields and then surround it with, or sorry, you could put 4 reactors, I think, and surround it with shields. Probably the same number of shields as I have right now. And I would imagine that would recharge pretty crazy fast, I think. So there's only a few big worms left. All the little ones are dead. Let's see, can we kill one? Yeah, I don't know. They've got a lot of life. They're tough to take down like that. I like using the laser wall, the blueprint wall that we learned about last episode. You know, I'd prefer not to have to rely on something like that. I'd rather be able to do it manually, because it feels a little bit cheesy to just run in there. I mean, we have such amazing turret defense here. It does look like the big biters can attack over one level of wall, which means they end up running inside around all the turrets. You could probably make a maze, actually. It's kind of like a tower defense, because it looks like the pathfinding is avoid the too deep walls. So if you made like a maze, sort of back and forth, of too deep wall back and forth, with like a lone turret at the end that they could chomp on, they'd probably just run back and forth through it and be killed before they got anywhere near the turret that they could actually bite. I might try that later on just to see if it works. That seems like kind of a trick that would be fun for base defense. Are all the worms dead? Yeah. The poison capsules work pretty good on the worms. So I guess if you're patient, the best way to clear these out is... well, depends. Patience. Do you want to build power lines everywhere, or do you want to build a bunch of poison capsules? That's the difference. It probably takes a pretty similar amount of time. Either way, however you want to do it. Either way, it's much easier just let them follow you and get killed by the turrets. Anyway, I suppose this is about time for end of episode. I just wanted to show off the upgrades to my base, because I've done a few improvements, and show off my my fast legs and the new strategy. Also, riding a train is pretty awesome. That's a lot of fun. And yeah, I think probably next episode will be the last one. So I'm going to probably try to finish the research. We're almost done the last prerequisite for this one, and then I just need to make sure I've got 1,000 science packs. I mean, this is going to take a long time, so I'll probably research it off camera, and then we'll go about building this next episode. Rockets, processing units, maybe I'll try to stockpile some. Alright, thanks for watching, folks! Hope you have enjoyed, and have a great day as we wind things up, wind things down, one or the other.